Obama's former top general just dropped unbelievable bombshell about the former president. Obama's legacy is ruined for good. During Barack Obama's presidency, our country suffered more than it ever had before. It was clear that he was only interested in destroying our country and did whatever he could to make sure that happened. Thanks to Obama, race relations have fallen further than we had witnessed in many years. If he wasn't trying to tear the country apart by starting a race war, he was busy handing the country over to illegal immigrants and radical Muslims whom he allowed to flood into the country with his open border policies. When he was elected, he wanted to fundamentally change our country, and he did. Obama also gutted our military and never gave them the right tools to fight the bad guys. And now, a former Obama top general has come forward with how destructive those policies were and implored President Trump to not make the same mistakes as his predecessor. Recently, Iran has been facing violent protests that many people think is the result of Obama's policies. Back in 2009, Iran was dealing with similar protests after citizens were angry over election fraud and an oppressive government. Obama didn't back the people of Iran, and now it all makes perfect sense after we learned it was all to preserve his legacy of the Iran nuclear deal. Here is more from Washington Examiner. The former chairman of the Joint Chiefs of Staff wants the Trump administration to not make the same mistakes as the Obama administration and fully back protesters in Iran. Retired ADM Mike Mullen said on ABC's This Week that President Obama should have backed Iranian protesters in 2009 more than he did. Now the protests are once again roiling the Islamic Republic. President Trump should throw his support behind them. We chose to not be as supportive as we could have been then, Mullen said. And I hope we can be right now so that Iran can continue to evolve. They have an incredibly young population. They look to a future that they cannot see. They've been promised change and a healthier economy. Protests represent the inability to deliver that so far. I think support of them seems absolutely the right thing to do. Mullen served as the chairman of the Joint Chiefs of Staff from October 1, 2007 to Sept. 2011, working with both Obama and President George W. Bush. Protests have erupted around Iran in recent days in response to a poor economy and an oppressive regime, mostly led by college students. The Iranian government has already killed 2 protesters and shut down social media networks that have helped facilitate the spread of the protests to cities around the country. Not only is Mullen calling for Trump to take a stand with the Iranian people, but so is South Carolina's Sen. Lindsey Graham, who appeared on CBS's Face the Nation Sunday morning. Here is more from Politico. The people are not getting the benefit of sanctions relief, the Republican senator told Major Garrett on CBS Face the Nation. They are more upset with their oppressors than ever. The money from sanctions relief is going to rebuilding the Iranian military and is destabilizing the Middle East. Graham, who is regarded as a foreign policy hawk, said he would advise President Donald Trump to do the opposite of his predecessor in addressing protests in Iran. As a first step, the 3-term senator called on Trump to give a public address on why the Iran nuclear deal has failed and to lay out what a better deal would look like. In 2009, Obama condemned unjust actions as Iranian leaders thwarted an uprising known as Green Revolution after a disputed presidential election. While Obama gave increasingly harsher critiques of how protesters were treated, his administration was criticized for not being more forceful and direct. Since Thursday, Iranians have protested throughout the country due to frustration with a sluggish economy. If I was Trump, I would do the exact opposite of Obama, Graham said. Obama said, I don't want to get involved, I don't want to mess up the chance of a deal with Iran. Well, the deal with Iran has not worked. Obama has always been out for himself and never wanted to see the country flourish. He doesn't care about the people, he only wants to maintain his image. He should have done what was right and back the people who were suffering in Iran. Well, if Trump gets his way, and he usually does, he will back the Iranian people and the nuclear deal could be history. That would be a major blow to Obama and his legacy.